General G.D. Bakshi, Maruf Raza, Siddharth Nath Singh of the BJP, Junaid Mattu of the Jammu and Kashmir People's Conference, Dr. Samir Kaul of the PDP, Mehboob Beg of the National Conference will be joined by Shabnam Lone in a few minutes. So we have the whole spectrum here tonight on the News Hour. There's no argument left here, is there now? Is there any argument left now, Mehboob Beg, for rolling back the army's powers? That whole, this whole campaign that you started about rolling back the army's powers must have evaporated after today's attack. Should have evaporated after today's attack.
Arnab, you have seen what you have seen, and in spite of the fact that Armed Force Special Powers Act and acts like the one are still there. But have we achieved what we want to achieve? No, we haven't. Can we say there is a part in a democratic society, which we are, which can be governed only with powers like Armed Force Special Powers Act, or there has to be something? There is something wrong in overall situation, and that wrong is not being
No, what is wrong, Mr. Mehboob Beg? What is wrong is that Pakistan has stepped up the campaign. That's what is wrong. What is wrong is that the Lashkar-e-Toiba has stepped up the activities. That is what is wrong.
Absolutely.
Society has not killed these 5 CRPF Jawans. Pakistan-backed terrorists have.
Yes, Arnab. Yes, you have asked me a question. Kindly let me answer your question. You are right. Those are the external dimensions of the Kashmir issue, and those have to be tackled. There is no second opinion on that. But we have internal dimensions. Suppose it would have been repealed because there were breathing periods, normal periods in the history of Kashmir. 2010, 2011 and 12, we had very peaceful Kashmir. Perhaps the beneficiaries are the people of state of Jammu and Kashmir, which were responsible to bring about a change, a symbolic change.
But that is exactly the point.
In the situation.
No, that is exactly the point. It was exactly the point. The situation in Jammu and Kashmir was peaceful because of the army, despite the army. That's where you don't give them credit. General Bakshi wanted to come in. General Bakshi. General Bakshi. Let's get the outside.
Arnab, just give me a minute, because you asked me a question. You asked me a question. Sorry. Now you are asking somebody else to answer that.
No, I am allowing everyone in. I'm coming back to you.
Mr. Beg.
Yeah.
Mr. Beg, can I just take a minute? Arnab, I think he's put he's spelt out the problem. The problem is that because of the operations of the army, and may I remind this August gathering that 5,108 officers, JCOs, men of the Indian Army have laid down their lives to get this degree of peace. Now, the moment we get a spell of peace, we face a clamor, withdraw the army, withdraw the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and we have seen the situation slide back into a snake and ladders syndrome n number of times. I have spent 15 years in these kind of operations in Jammu and Kashmir. There are so many instances. I was in Kishtwar. We had 5 battalions there. We got the area quiet. We were pushed out. And the situation was back to ground zero. This has happened innumerable times. That is precisely what we have been trying to tell the civilian administration in Jammu and Kashmir. Please, if the situation was peaceful for the last 2-3 years, it was because of the operations and pressure of the army on the terrorists. For God's sake, don't be impatient.
Shabnam Lone.
Please listen to your
Shabnam Lone on a News Hour discussion a few weeks back. On a News Hour discussion a few weeks back. On a News Hour discussion a few weeks back, Shabnam Lone, my question is to you. You quarreled with us. You said, it's all wrong. The AFSPA needs to go because the situation in Kashmir has improved. When I showed you statistics that it had not, you questioned my statistics. Which statistic will you question today, Shabnam Lone? The statistic of the 5 martyrs who have been killed today?
Arnab, I never quarreled. Now let's have a very serious debate. Let it not be your men versus our men. That is the first issue. Now, I was listening to General G.D. Bakshi. Now, he is what you call the consummate, ultimate garrison commander who loves his boys. But he can't see beyond the ramparts of the fort of his garrison. So, with great respect to General G.D. Bakshi, that makes his comments non-est for Kashmir, because he is an interested party who loves his boys to that extent where it is impossible for him to give
Now
a
answer my
plausible
question.
view about Kashmir. Now,
I love my country more, madam.
General G.D. Bakshi, got it, General, sir, but I still reiterate that your comments on Kashmir are non-est on the basis that you are an extremely interested party. You love your boys, you are the consummate.
I hope
let's answer the question.
Born in
I
Jammu.
again repeat, who cannot see beyond the ramparts of the fort that he holds for his boys.
Please come to the
Sir,
question.
now
Please
let me
address
come
the
to
question now. Shabnam Lone.
Yes.
Where are your statistics today?
Now, with regard to
You said, no, you said, I'll repeat the question. You said roll back AFSPA, situation in Kashmir is all right. You can't say that today.
I have never said that. No, I have never said that AF revoke ASPA and the situation will be fine.
No, you
in
said
Kashmir.
revoke ASPA because the situation has
basically,
improved.
Now let me. No, I never said that, Arnab. Now let me address this issue seriously. Now what is AFSA? Basically, why I am not in favor of AFSA, because AFSA seeks to abrogate the most inalienable and glorious rights, that is the fundamental rights. Any society which is civil, any society which believes in constitutional journeys would normally not like to have AFSA. Now, with
This is
regard
not a
to
normal
Kashmir,
situation.
I have
This is not a
different
normal
take on
situation.
AFSA. Now, with regard, I'm coming to that, Arnab, hold on. Now, with regard to AFSA, I have a different take.
Am I just losing the line there with? Okay. I think I just lost the line. We'll try and get her back. She says she has a different take. I'm going to get her back. In the meantime, let me get other voices in. Junaid Mattu. Has the entire political campaign on diluting the army's powers evaporated today?
Certainly not, Arnab. It might have diluted that resolve for you. First of all, you never had that resolve because you don't live in Kashmir. You don't face the humiliation of an entire population living with lesser rights. The incident that has happened today, where I don't want to say that it is one of the so many incidents because I don't want to trivialize the loss of lives. But we need to look at Kashmir through a wider prism, a kind of a wider angle. What I'm trying to say is that if you even look at today, there has been an innocent young boy, 24-year-old boy who has been shot dead by the CRPF in Eidgah area. So if that incident isn't an inference enough to make you speak against AFSPA, using simple logic, this encounter can't be an incident which reinforces your resolve to keep AFSPA.
I have a simple question for you, Junaid. Junaid, tell me, does Pakistan benefit if violence in Kashmir goes up? Just let's get very basic tonight on the news. Does Pakistan benefit if violence in Kashmir goes up? One. B, what is the link in your view between the Lashkar-e-Toiba and Pakistan? What is the link? Please tell me. Let's get rhetorical, factual, not rhetorical.
As is, okay, yes, okay. If you let me speak. There are vested interests in Kashmir who want violence. There are vested interests in India who want, in Delhi who want violence. There are vested interests.
I am asking you, who are the vested interests in Pakistan? Name them.
Well, there are. I mean, there are people who would love to see the pot boiling.
Who are the people?
I can't. I don't have a glossary of vested interests.
Who are they? Why are you so scared of naming the Lashkar-e-Toiba? Are you scared?
It's not my job. I'm not a police officer. It's not my job to name Lashkar-e-Toiba.
Why don't you name the Lashkar-e-Toiba?
I'm not part of investigations.
Why don't you name the Lashkar-e-Toiba?
Name them.
Yeah.
Name them in what, Arnab?
Why are you scared of naming them? You almost seem to be appearing to be extremely, if I may say so today, Junaid, you seem to be extremely nervous about taking the name of the Lashkar-e-Toiba. I wonder why.
Arnab, I am a person who has unequivocally condemned killings by both sides.
So if
Lashkar-e-Toiba,
has the Lashkar-e-Toiba killed the sarpanchs in Kashmir?
I spoke about it. I wrote an op-ed about it.
Tell me, what do you think of the Lashkar-e-Toiba?
I can't explain to you who stands up for things.
What do you think of the Lashkar-e-Toiba?
I don't. everybody who kills an innocent Kashmiri is a murderer. Every murder is a murder.
You're generalizing again.
Be that by a gunman, be that by any party, it is a murder. Be that by CRPF. CRPF murdered a boy in Eidgah. Are you willing to call that a murder, Arnab? It's a direct question.
Yes, it is.
Are you willing to call that a murder?
Yes, it is. And by the way, Junaid, unlike you, we don't suffer from those duplicities. It is absolutely a murder, and I have said this 5 days back on this program. I've said it 5 days back on this program that it is time the high-handed tactics of some of the people in the Indian Army end. But you are not taking a position on the Lashkar.
Duplicitous.
Why aren't you taking a position on the Lashkar-e-Toiba?
The boy who was stoned to death, was that not a murder?
Investigation. If anybody is involved.
Anybody?
General Bakshi, your army has committed a lot of murders too. I'm sorry.
Maruf.
Probably a lot under your command as well. I'm answering Arnab's question. Let me answer Arnab's question.
I've asked
Let
you
me
a
answer
question
his
7
questions,
times.
then I'll answer your questions.
I've asked you the question
yes,
7 times.
Arnab, I'm answering your question. Be it any militant outfit,
not any,
be it the army, be it the CRPF. This is getting a little juvenile now. Any means all. I'm not excluding any. If any militant outfit trains their gun at a Kashmiri person, we will call them murderers.
And tell me, what about the Lashkar-e-Toiba who trained their guns? What about the Lashkar-e-Toiba? 1 minute. What about the Lashkar-e-Toiba who trained their guns at the CRPF men?
Okay, okay. That justifies the CRPF men to go and shoot.
No, I'm asking you, what about those who killed the 5 CRPF men? And I'm not justifying anything. I am telling you, be factual, not rhetorical with me.
Then, Arnab, why aren't we speaking about the boy who died? Why isn't that a subject?
I just did. You're not listening.
The killing of CRPF men.
I just did. You're not listening.
No, I
have said this 1,001 times, but you have not listened. You choose not to listen.
Arnab,
I want to go back to the mood question. Junaid, the mood question is this: that Pakistan is backing terror, and Pakistan wants this cycle of terror to continue. I don't know at which point of time Kashmir's political leaders will have the courage to go to the root issue. The root of this problem is in Rawalpindi, not in Srinagar. Maruf, may I just get you into the debate?
You might be right. Arnab, you might be right. But right now, after how unscrupulously and how unbecoming of a state it was in the manner in which Afzal Guru was executed, pushing him ahead, leapfrogging him ahead into the line.
Don't politicize the Afzal Guru issue. It will go nowhere. I will not let you politicize the Afzal Guru issue. I want to get Maruf into the debate. But before Maruf, your response, please.
Arnab, I'd like to respond to a few points that Junaid made before I get on to the key issue that I want to bring home. One is that I think, Junaid, with due respect, you're obfuscating the issue, you're not getting to the point, you're not answering Arnab's question straight. Fine, there are a lot of people who are involved in killings one way or the other. But the central dilemma for Kashmiris is, which you may like to provide an answer to, do you think that Pakistan, which claims to provide moral support to Kashmir and people like yourself, is actually using these people like the latest terrorists who use human shields of Kashmiri youth to attack military installations? Fine, you guys have a problem with military installations and the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. I agree there are some issues there that are debatable, but the central point is that the same people who claim to support the Kashmiri cause wholeheartedly are the ones who are causing disruption in your lives. That's the first issue. The second thing is, the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, which Arnab has been trying to bring the debate onto, is not against the Kashmiris, my friend. The Armed Forces Special Powers Act, if you go back, and it's clearly available in the internet and otherwise on all printed documents, emerges from the Government of India Act of 1958, in which special powers were given and certain immunity was given to soldiers who could not resort to the court of law quickly, and it was difficult to identify who to fix the blame on in confrontations. And let me add a footnote to that. Article 44 of the Protocols of the Geneva Conventions of 1976 say very clearly that when a soldier is attacked or is being attempted to be attacked, he can fire back. So if you if you have a problem with the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, I don't think you'll have a problem with the Geneva Convention.
Absolutely.
That authorizes people to do that. Having said all that, let me just complete my point, Arnab. Having said that, let me bring 2 points home. One is The Armed Forces Special Powers Act, if it was to be withdrawn, please ask your political representatives why it was brought in the first place. It was brought in the first place because they failed to govern. And failing to govern led to an insurgency when the politicians requisitioned the armed forces to do that. You don't want the army there. You want shootouts regularly. You want Lashkar bearded militants running your state. Ask the army to go back to its barracks and handle your problem yourself. That's the point General Bakshi is making. He's not getting emotional about just the soldiers who've died. Whether he's a soldier who's died in the line of duty or a young Kashmiri who's died, we feel sorry for them. But please understand, the mess up has been at the level of your leaders who are trying to absolve themselves of the responsibility of governance by trying to say pull out the Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
I'm getting a Samir call at this stage, and in my hand I have, one second gentlemen, in my hand is a press release. It's breaking on the Times Now ticker right now. Coming to you, Samir Kaul and Siddharth Nath Singh. This debate's opening up. The government of Pakistan, while we do this show, has put out a press release. And it says, we strongly reject the remarks made by the Indian Home Secretary that prima facie evidence suggests that the militants who attacked the members of the CRPF were from across the border. They were probably from Pakistan. Well, the fact of the matter is this. You cannot have lunch with our foreign minister on Saturday and coordinate an attack on Wednesday. This is a statement which has come in from the Pakistani government. We have to solve our... So Dr. Samir Kaul, where do you stand on this debate right now? And do you think it's time that Jammu and Kashmir's political leaders begin to question where the root of the terror is? Pakistan.
Sir, can I take this August time that you provided me with handfuls, requesting everybody to let average peace-loving Kashmiris be? Let's stop politicking over the dead bodies of our Jawans or the dead bodies of our young men. This young Altaf died this evening for no fault of his on a security firing. What are we doing? Thousands of our own people. Can't you understand what's happening? It is one home. In this home, our children, because for a different reason, are being beaten every now and then. The uncles in the house have a different point of view. They are locked up, not even provided breathing space or medical treatment. And an external aggressor, an unfriendly neighbor, is finding fertile ground to intrude and get in. Boss, we've got to deal with, we can't confuse external aggression and infiltration with inner strife. Inner strife needs responsible and mature government in the state and at the central level, handling it very carefully and trying to make sure that you don't alienate your own children. They are our own citizens, for God's sake. External aggressor needs to be fixed, found out, killed and exterminated. There can be absolutely no confusion on that. And what are we squabbling about? We've got to deal with this intelligently. I thought after the combination of Mufti Muhammad Saeed and Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee after 2007, the peace process, for God's sake, it's gone to the drain. After 2009, an irresponsible government has eroded on all gains of the peace process. 2010, where were the armed forces involved? It was a simple law and order matter in the state. And these young children who died there, more than 110, Arnab, what have we offered to those families? Naturally, these children of ours and their families, the mothers who lost their children, are angry.
Does the external aggressor, gain? One, I take your words. Does the
completely different.
My question goes to Siddharth Nath Singh. Dr. Samir Kaul, I value your points. I'm coming back to you. My question is, you acknowledge there's an external aggressor. I want to know tonight whether Kashmir separatists acknowledge there's an external aggressor. And will the external aggressor gain, Siddharth Nath Singh, if we cut the powers of the army at this critical point?
Absolutely.
Siddharth.
Well, certainly they will. And we all must understand also, Arnab, that, I'm answering. Certainly the separatists will gain if we cut the powers of the army. We must also realize, and I'm surprised, we are comparing the armed forces with the terrorists, and it's atrocious. You cannot compare the acts of two. Now, we must also appreciate it is not it's a law which is made, AFSA is a law which is made out of a parliament, and army has no role into it. and the powers which are given to the army has been upheld by the Supreme Court, which says it is not arbitrary and it's not unreasonable. Now, when you declare, a state government or a central government declares that this is a disturbed area, and then the army moves. So the decision is neither with the army or what the power should they hold and an area being declared as a disturbed. It lies with the central government or the state government. Now shifting the blame on the army for your own wrongdoings of misgovernance and covertly sleeping with the separatists is creating a problem. And therefore, it is not in the interest of Jammu and Kashmir or maybe the Northeast that we start debating the army and blaming them armed forces, keeping their morale down and saying, please lower their powers. It's nothing to do with them. You declare an area that it is not disturbed, the army has to go back as per the law. But the state government, because they know they cannot govern or they cannot put the law and order, they cannot fight the militancy, they cannot challenge openly. And we are seeing on your channel just now that there is a gentleman who is refusing to challenge the terrorist organizations or the separatist organizations.
Junaid Mattu, yes.
We all can appreciate, Arnab, that it is not very easy to live when with armed forces outside and all that and a lot of risking going about. But they are doing a job which has been assigned to them by the law.
We are
yes, we do know that there could be some points which can be debated.
Well, I want to, gentlemen.
And these politicians think that Kashmir
gentlemen, 1 minute,
and make a decision what they want to do.
Junaid, I will come to you. I will come to you. However, I'll go to Mehboob Beg first. General Chubakshi, coming to you. My point is this, Mehboob Beg. All these anti-India groups, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, others include United Jihad Council, Al-Badr Mujahideen, Jamiatul Mujahideen, Harkatul Mujahideen, Hizbul Mujahideen. They have all set up a common banner and they have said, we are going to step up our terrorist activities in Jammu and Kashmir. Don't you know that? Doesn't your Chief Minister know that?
Yeah, Arnab, please, you have asked many questions. Let me answer, please. Many questions have been raised. Nobody is against army. But army, let me quote former Prime Minister Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He said, army should be sent back to borders as quickly as possible. It's Atal Bihari Vajpayee. He said, otherwise we will lose this very important institution. Now it has been there for the last over 2 decades. Nobody is against them. They have to defend us at the borders, not take a position or occupy a space.
No, so what Jammu and Kashmir police... one second.
Hang on for a minute. I
have a question. Mehboob Beg, will the Jammu and Kashmir police... Will the Jammu and Kashmir police take on the... Will the Jammu and Kashmir police take on the Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed and all these other groups under the United Jihad Council?
Arnab, right now you have picked up an incident and you have built up the entire story on this.
Sir, I have not...
We have to look it in totality. Arnab, there were periods where Kashmir is a sad story of missed opportunities. There were opportunities, normal opportunities when we should have resolved the basic political issue.
How will you protect the people of your state?
Arnab,
how will you protect the people of your state?
Arnab, please. Yeah, that's right. But army cannot be there for all time.
So what is your solution, sir?
Be there
what is your solution, sir?
With definite immunity.
1 minute. Do you think Rawalpindi? Do you think Rawalpindi?
Please.
Do you think,
please.
Mr. Beg,
you either want me to toe your line or you don't want to hear anything.
I'm asking you something. Answer my question. Answer my question.
Yes, hang on for a minute. Yes, in early 90, there was an extraordinary situation prevailing in entire state of Jammu and Kashmir. Therefore, this was needed for short term. Then we had elections, we had panchayat elections. Common people defied all boycott calls, came out and put all democratic institutions in place. They should have been given a relief. The relief could have been if we could have repealed laws like the Armed Force Special Powers Act.
Mr. Mehboob Beg, I have tremendous regard for you, but I have real regard for you. I have known you for a long time. I have great regard for you as an individual. But I am telling you one thing, Mr. Beg. Sarpanch after Sarpanch is being killed. CRPF people are being massacred. suicide bomb squads are there in Srinagar Valley, and across the border, these groups have come together. And you are actually saying, because it suits you politically right now, chalo, enough. Army, will you just close your bags and go back? I mean, watch. Maruf Rasa wanted to come in. Maruf.
No, but you
sir,
asked
may
me
I
questions.
just, I just want to bring, sir, please.
Somebody else to answer.
No, get the other side, Mr. Baker, coming back to you.
Sir, you've raised a number of important issues. Let me just put it in context. Just because you withdraw the army tomorrow or the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, insurgency is not going to go away. As we all know, and I've been a student of insurgencies in India in particular, insurgencies happen over a period of time when all aspects of governance fail. And therefore, to contain the situation is the job of the military, provided the political leadership is able to come up with a package to address the concerns of the people. Now, Nehru was on record to say the politics of Kashmir is the politics of personalities. And even the Vajpayee government, I know it on record in my conversation with senior ministers then, were also following the same dictum. Sadly, what has happened is that the people in Kashmir, and I'm with you on that one, their concerns are not being addressed. Now, having said that, let me please assure you, sir, that even if you were to take away the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, you were to take away the armed forces from Kashmir, the situation will only spiral into a worse case scenario than what it is today. What you need is, and the political leadership and civil society's eminent citizens like yourself, is to come up with worthwhile solutions to address a whole gamut of issues. They're not happening. Even then, the Vajpayee government was at a loss of ideas, thinking one man could resolve the whole problem in Kashmir. And prior to that also, it has all been addressed to the one individual, hoping he'll turn the situation around. No insurgency in the world, sir. History of insurgencies you studied across the world have been able to be resolved purely on the magic wand of one individual.
Everybody is raising their hands.
Problems like you have in Kashmir
I see a lot of
can only be resolved if you have a package solution. And
Maruf, 1 minute. Dr. Samir call. Maruf, 1 minute.
It doesn't have package solutions.
Maruf, let's go to Samir call. The question is, why this selective shedding of tears? How many Kashmiri politicians lined up outside the house of the unarmed policemen killed in Handwara or uttered a word for them? How many sessions of the assembly were rocked because of the killing of sarpanches?
The discussions were never allowed. The sarpanch killing is a blot on the face of the government that exists there, because the amendments that were promised by no less than Rahul Gandhi, the CN of the Congress, were not realized by their own coalition partners. They have a duplicitous message.
Who is they?
Now, can I ask you a question?
We are not here.
For God's sake, that even Arnab, you are complicit in that. You made such a big thing. 1 minute. You made such a big thing about Yasin Malik not addressing a stage somewhere in Pakistan. What about the main patron of the National Conference?
Let's focus on the main subject, on the main issue.
Being on a JKLF platform in Pakistan, one is a union minister and the other is in jail. Isn't the central government sending different messages?
I didn't get the second part of your question. We have every right to question why Yasin Malik is sitting on a platform in Hafiz Saeed. I think it's a very legitimate question.
In fact, yes, you have. But why don't you question similar footage that exists
now we are talking
Dr.
something
Farooq
else.
Abdullah
We
on
have
a
a different
JKLF
subject
stage.
to debate.
One is a union minister, the other is in jail. Doesn't the central government send different messages? Why can't we have a uniform code that whoever is being anti-national should be anti-national?
Arnab, don't make it NC versus PDP. We are on a broader issue.
I am not interested.
On a bigger issue.
I am not interested in making it NC versus PDP. I want to know whether this can be India versus Pakistan, because that's what it is. The export of terrorists from Pakistan. I have never seen Shabnam Lone. I have never seen Shabnam Lone, for example,
Arnab,
aggressively talk about the support to terror coming from Pakistan. I haven't seen Shabnam Lone get worked up about the support to terror coming in from Pakistan. I haven't. I want to know what your position is on Yasin Malik sharing a platform with...
No, why should I get worked up?
No, what is your position on Yasin Malik? On Yasin Malik going on an Indian passport and sitting with Hafiz Saeed?
I think... Okay, I don't know, why should we get worked up?
No, what is your position on Yasin and Hafiz Saeed's meeting?
No, to talk in a very positive manner. When Kashmir is seeing blots of blood, its horizon is corroded with blood. Kashmir is a boiling cauldron. Now all of us are suffering. When the common man suffers, we suffer. And you must realize one thing.
Arnab, let's focus on the main subject.
Here. There is a deficiency of opinion here in New Delhi too. You must realize that Kashmir is a different place. You don't need an analysis of a cold metropolitan intellect to analyze Kashmir.
No, I don't believe in these. I don't believe in these definitions of cold metropolitan intellect and warm non-metropolitan intellect. Let's come to the issue. Ceasefire violations. No, Pakistan is exporting terror. Why would you do everything possible to avoid the question?
I'm not avoiding the question. Now you will come straight away to this point. India and Pakistan, they always indulge in this facade of being good neighbors. The fact is, India and Pakistan are bad neighbors.
I don't know. That's not even my question. That's not even my question.
Bad neighbors.
I don't think.
Yes, they will continue. No, stop hounding the Kashmiris.
No. One second. This whole. I've asked you for 4 times. I'm going to ask you one last. Jail Bakshi. Yes, Siddhartha Singh.
As Indians, we have to
let me answer this question.
As a good neighbor and a bad neighbor.
I just like to put this thing in perspective.
Arnab, let me answer this question.
Excuse me.
No, Arnab, let me answer this question.
Madam, can I just take a minute, please?
Mr. Maroof Raza.
No, General Bakshi, please.
No, my question is for Mr. Maroof Raza.
Madam, can I just come in, please? Arnab, I would like to place this problem in its true perspective. The ISI has, sent in over 80,000 Kalashnikov rifles here, over 1,300 machine guns, 2,000 rocket launchers. That makes it a war zone. Please understand that when you get to a proxy war kind of a situation, you cannot call it a normal situation. And insurgency campaigns the world over have taken 2 to 3 decades. Nowhere in the whole world have they been brought to closure before that, because the other side avoids direct conflict with the armed forces, hides in by wearing civil clothes. And we have to be careful to avoid collateral damage. We have to restrain. We do not use heavy weapons. We could have finished it much earlier if we had done that. For the sake of collateral damage, for the sake of the people of Jammu and Kashmir, we've held our hand back. And to that extent, all insurgencies, please see the insurgency data on the global scale. 2 to 3 decades is a normal insurgency life cycle. And when you have an inimical neighbor who keeps pumping in, the more terrorists we kill, the more they pump in. And that keeps the pot boiling. In such a situation, before the proxy war is over, a clamor like was being made a few weeks back, in the J&K Assembly for opening tantamount to opening the gate for the Hun.
Understand, but I'm completely. I wonder sometimes why Jammu and Kashmir's political parties cannot pass a simple resolution which says in one line, Pakistan, leave us alone. Stop sending your AK-47s, your machine guns, your rocket launchers, your hand grenades, your millions of rounds of ammunition. The source of the problem, all of these arms are not coming from Ordnance Factory, Jabalpur. They are coming from ISI headquarters in Rawalpindi. And that is the source of the problem in Kashmir today. Yes, Dr. Samir Kaul, I'm sure you'll agree with me on that.
Can I come in, Arnab? Arnab, can I come in?
Arnab, if I can come in for a minute.
Yes, Dr. Mehboob Beg, please.
Arnab.
Dr. Beg.
Having said that, absolutely right. And also Government of India should address the main issue. The main issue to resolve Kashmir politically, as Atal Bihari Vajpayee, we were very unfortunate. He had taken, there was a path breaking. We were going ahead on that with that 4-point formula on which General Musharraf had agreed on, Vajpayee, and then Dr. Manmohan Singh ji had agreed on, and entire Jammu Kashmir leadership they were taken on board. We must do that and tell Pakistan the thing you have said.
No, but that is, I want an open acknowledgement tonight. I don't know why people like Junaid Mattu would be so inimical to identifying the source of the problem.
The source. You're referring to me time and time again and won't let me speak.
No, I'm coming right to you. I don't.
To me time and time again.
Okay, so that's the question to you, Junaid. 80,000 AK series
There are a
rifles.
lot of Arnab.
Small question. 80,000.
I got the defense briefing 101.
Can I give you some details? 1,300 machine guns, 2,000 rocket launchers, 63,000 hand grenades, and 7 million rounds of ammunition seized by the Indian Army. Tell me, how would the Kashmir Valley be without it?
Okay.
Wouldn't the valley be more peaceful without it?
I will tell you that, but certain Arnab, I'm being patient. Please give me the same patience that you give other panelists who agree with your point of view. Give me a
No, I completely. Please speak
as much as you do. A point was raised because this debate is about AFSPA. Let's not forget that, right? AFSPA was invoked in Kashmir by Mufti Muhammad Sayyid when he was the Home Minister of India. Okay, when PDP was in power, did they ever write to the centre formally to revoke AFSPA? They did not. Has the National Conference written formally to the central government to revoke AFSPA?
I strongly reject this statement. He is giving a false statement.
Sir,
and I object to it. In 2007,
then the Home Minister, Mr. Dr. Samir Kohl,
and he agreed.
Dr. Samir,
a committee was constituted.
The Armed Forces Special Powers Act.
Can I speak? Can I please speak? Raza Maroof Saab, can I speak?
He wants to clarify something. You let him clarify. Maroof, clarify and then come back to you.
The Special Powers Act can be imposed by the centre without request from the state government. Please read the act. The Constitution sanctions the act.
He was the Home Minister of India, sir.
Without a requisition from the government of the state.
Yes, Junaid, reply. Junaid's turn.
Sir, please read the act.
Junaid's turn.
Please read the act details and you'll know the centre can impose it without the request of the state government.
Junaid.
Sir, Mufti Sahab at that time was the Home Minister of India. All I'm trying to say, Dr. Samir Kohl is referring to perhaps a personal communication between a Chief Minister and a Prime Minister. The Home Minister of India in the Parliament said that no state government has formally asked for the repeal of AFSPA.
A committee was constituted.
They are the ones who have invoked it.
A committee was constituted.
Sir, committees were constituted for Operation Tiger also, and we know
by the Prime Minister
to Kashmir.
Under the Defence Ministry. Unfortunately, there was a land row after that, and that is why the whole process got derailed. But at least we wrote, not like the National Conference, which is just saying, and absolutely not a single communication.
The PDP Forest Minister, there was a land row because the PDP Forest Minister gave land.
No, but that's the point, gentlemen. 1 minute. I don't care who's fighting with whom in Kashmir. 1 minute. You know, every state which is
besides the point.
The point. No, Junaid, 1 minute. See, any political party in Kashmir, you keep fighting with each other. Each state of India has political fights. But now the problem concerns the security and sovereignty of the nation. It's much bigger than that. You cannot weaken the Indian army at this stage. Siddharth, is this time...
Can you weaken the people of Kashmir?
Well, certainly not. And I say this to you, Junaid. I'm saying this to you because, you know, it needs to go home. I have said this before.
We don't want AFSPA.
And
we do not want AFSPA.
I say it again. I say it again. The people of Kashmir are as much the people of India as any state of this country. They need to be treated with respect and they need to not be treated as collateral damage. But Pakistan has no business interfering in the way that it is. Siddharth.
Yeah, absolutely right. We all hold of this view, but the people in Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, the political parties must address this issue also and say it in no equal terms that Pakistan, we will not accept your cross-border terrorism, which is something, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee has been repeatedly said in your debate, in the debate. So Atal Bihari Vajpayee took a solemn promise from Musharraf that they will not use the Pakistan or a Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for cross-border terrorism. And this is something with the centre and the Pakistan and the Jammu and Kashmir political party and the assembly must uphold. And that is where the solution will lie. And by weakening or shifting the blame on the armed forces is no solution unless the Jammu and Kashmir government administration and the police, they are capable and they can say, yes, we can fight the cross-border terrorism.
The police cannot handle this situation. Even Mehboob Beg will agree.
We will not sleep with the separatists
the police
in their
cannot handle
acts
this situation.
against Jammu and Kashmir people.
Arnab, there were moments, there were time periods when we could have done it. Now you are referring to this one incident which happened today. You can't pick up one incident and decide the entire thing.
No, sir.
There was a time when we could have done that.
No, sir.
And finally, we have to resolve the political issue politically. These are only the offshoots.
Sure.
We have to take the issue head on, as Vajpayee did. When
Sure.
he did this, he also wanted to resolve the political issue.
Yes, sure. But gentlemen, the police in this situation, very few people will believe that the police can handle the situation which is going on in Jammu and Kashmir. I think greater sensitivity of the army, an outreach campaign of the army, at the same time ensuring the army has enough powers to at least do its job while being sensitive to the interests of the people of Jammu and Kashmir can be a possible answer. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for debate number 1 on the News Hour tonight.